Kimberly Lavelle. I am an educational specialist and I teach smart, dedicated parents how to individualize the education of their child so they can confidently provide a quality education at home. And today we are going to be talking about how to use a tool in Google Docs to help your struggling writer. I wanted to take a few minutes today to share with you about a tool in Google Docs, which if you don't know, Google Docs is free. You have to create a Google account. And it's similar to Microsoft Word, but it's all online. It saves automatically. You can share with teachers or other things. Assuming you've used it, you may have even used this tool. So really fast, I'm just going to show you how to use it, when to use it, who might use it, who should not use it, and so how to use it. It's up here in Tools, Voice Typing. Click on the microphone to record. And once you're recording, it will record, write down everything that you're saying, period. And if you remember to say period, it will put a period at the end of all of your sentences, period. So you usually, ideally, want to say a complete full sentence all at once, period. A lot of kids get super focused on the words and they're watching the computer. And so you'll see it causes a problem because it's still listening, but it's confused. Why? Well, tell me more. I don't know if you mean and or and. And you saw it did that. It didn't know what I meant. It was waiting for more information, period. So you do not want kids getting focused on watching the computer and making sure it's saying the word that they're saying. If it gets it wrong, that's okay. They can fix it later. Most of the time it knows where it wasn't sure, and it will underline it for you. You're seeing that with all of these dashed underlines in here. All those dashed underlines mean maybe you meant something else, and it'll give you some options. Sometimes it's not accurate with that, period. So how you use it, and then so how you use it was, we said tools, voice typing, then you click on the microphone and it starts recording. Click on the microphone again when you don't want it to be recording. You do need the environment to be quiet. If there's outside voices, it will pick those up sometimes. Having an external microphone that you can record to can help a lot. So keep that in mind. Because an external microphone gets closer to the mouth, it picks up less outside noise than the computer's microphone. Okay, so it has talked about how to use it, when to use it. A big one that most people don't think of is as a pre-writing, free write activity. It's just a brain dump. The child can click record and just start recording anything that they can think of on whatever topic they're trying to write about. If they're trying to write about the mountains, they might be thinking, oh, well, last summer I went to the mountains and played in a lake, and I wonder how the lake got formed in the mountain. And they can just ramble, and it doesn't matter. They're putting words on paper. It's helping them think through whatever they might want to talk about in their actual writing. So it's a good first step. Then you take that to a graphic organizer and then bring it back to create a final product. And we'll talk about that whole process next week. It takes a little bit more effort. I don't want to put it all in one video to confuse people that might not need it or might not be applicable. And then obviously you can use this to create a final product. If you've got a graphic organizer you're referencing, then this one especially, they should know when they're going to be at the end of a complete thought and say period. They know what their introduction is going to be or something similar. They say the whole thing, they say period. Now maybe they forgot one period there, but at least they put a period at the end of their paragraph or something. So great for going from a graphic organizer to create a final product. It tends to encourage them to be willing to add in the extra details, the extra explanation, because they aren't physically involved in writing it out. And that brings me to who this is for. This is for kids who don't like writing, because most of the time kids who don't like writing are finding it tedious. The physical process of slowing their brain down enough to record what they're thinking and then, or type out what they're, either pencil, paper, or typing out, it's painful. It's mentally painful. They don't want to go that slow. It takes a lot of effort, and it's a struggle. This is especially true of kids with ADHD, but it's true for a lot of other kids as well. A lot of adults obviously enjoy using this technology also. It also works really well for kids who are struggling to generate thoughts if they use it as that pre-writing tool like I talked about, and it definitely helps kids who struggle with fine motor skills, because if you can't write it out, maybe you can speak it and the computer can help you out with that. Although I probably shouldn't have said definitely, because there are kids who it does not work for. So even if you're struggling with fine motor, if you're also struggling to speak in complete sentences or to speak and articulate in a way that can be understood easily, then the computer will have a hard time. So if your child is working with a speech therapist and because they're struggling with articulation, then this might not be a good tool for them to use, but you could use it. So the one suggestion I have for you with that is that the child is sitting next to you, they're telling you what they want to say, and you're either typing exactly what they say or you are speaking exactly what they say. And I would model having them, if they're working from a graphic organizer, have them think about where the period goes and have them actually say the word period to you so that you also say period or you type out the period. Just so that while they're working on that articulation skill with a speech therapist, then they're simultaneously knowing how to use this technology as soon as it can understand them. So they'll be it won't be something you have to then teach them or go back to. It's just, that's how I always do it. Nothing else will be ingrained in them. It'll be easier for them, second nature. And okay, so we talked about how to use it. Remember up here, tools, voice typing, click on it to record, click it again to make it stop recording. Make sure that the child is speaking an entire complete sentence all at once, not staring at it. If you need to, cover the screen. Some kids get so focused, they might need the screen covered. When to use it? You could use it for pre-writing or for a final product. Who it's for is anybody who's finding writing tedious. Often those are kids with ADHD, but it's also a lot of other kids. Anyone who's struggling to generate thoughts, anyone who's struggling with fine motor skills. It is not for kids who cannot speak in a complete sentence yet. You're working at a different level of writing at that point. And it's not for those who are struggling with articulation or speaking more clearly, enunciating, however you want to call it. It's not for those students. In our next video, we'll be talking about how to use pre-writing to create a graphic organizer, and then I'll also talk about how to use that graphic organizer to then go back to Google Docs. I'm Cameron Lavelle, and I hope that video was helpful. If you want to know more, head over to yourparenthelp.com and subscribe for weekly emails.